Are you ready to pack your bags and head out on a grand adventure? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Big Blend's Road Trip Radio Show. Let's find out where we're going today. Every day is Road Trip Day here on Big Blend Radio. Since Nancy and I travel full-time across the country, you don't have to do that, but you know what? A little road trip, whether it's a weekend or a full week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's good for us. So this is part 2 of our road trip series on Big Blend Radio, and we're starting out in the Southeast. We're going to Asheville, North Carolina, where we hook up with our buddies Steve and Karen Wilson, known as Mr. and Mrs. Wild. They own and operate the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast in Asheville, right in the heart of the Montfort Historic District. So they talk about what to see and do in Asheville on a road trip. Then we go to Oklahoma, where Terry Guthrie, who is an amazing travel writer, talks about the largest casino in the world. I mean, this is where you can stay, play, eat, drink, shop, float in a pool, you name it, it's all there, and easy access on a road trip across country. Then we end in Scottsdale, Arizona, right in the heart of the art district in downtown Scottsdale at LDV Winery, which is part of a Scottsdale wine trail. Did you know that Arizona has a wine trail? And Arizona has fabulous wines, and that's what you're going to hear about on today's show. Watch out. If you go to blendradioandtv.com, the link is in the episode notes. Click there. You'll be able to hear our music playlist for road trips. Plus, also sign up for our newsletter so you can check out the map I've been talking about on all the shows. We are creating this amazing road trip map for Road Trip USA 2025. So check it out. You'll get it in our next issue of Big Blend Express magazine. That's our podcast magazine. So you'll hear all the podcasts that we've been covering over the last few days and get that map. So check it out, get our newsletter, and everyone, safe travels, have fun, and don't do anything we wouldn't do. Ha ha. So when it's a road trip podcast, of course, we're going to Asheville, North Carolina. Nancy and I are here all the time. It just happened, and it's Steve and Karen's fault. It is. Steve and Karen, the innkeepers and owners of the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast. We have a show with them, Adventures in Asheville, that airs every first Tuesday. Podcast link is in the episode notes, as is the link for their beautiful Victorian bed and breakfast right in the heart of the Montfort Historic District, which is close to the downtown, easy to get to, places that are like Pisgah National Forest and Looking Glass Waterfalls, really easy and accessible. So check out lion-rose.com. Did I get that right, y'all? Because apparently I don't know anything about Asheville or staying with you. Here's the thing on a road trip. Okay, so you're in the car. It could be a friend's road trip. It could be a family one. It could be a romantic road trip. That's how you find out if you want to stay with the person, the other one, If you can do a road trip together, get dirty and sweaty, and then get dirty and sweaty again at a bed and breakfast. Sorry, oopsie. You're going to be all right? Come on. Isn't it true? Because if you're always if you're always looking perfect, that's not a road trip.
Yep. No,
stuff has to go down on a road trip. And Asheville is easy to get to on any road trip. I don't care where you're from. If you're driving from California somewhere, you should go to Asheville. I mean, right now you've got guests coming from Texas to see Larkin and Poe, the awesome sister blues, rock and blues duo. So I'm saying and they're going to have to drive across the whole state of Texas to get there. So I've done that. We've done that so many times because of Asheville, but it is your fault, and you got us to fall in love with your city. So Asheville, Music City, and I'm just going to say, listen, you're on a road trip, staying even one night or even just going through and grabbing a bite is going to help this community as it recovers from Hurricane Helene. It is open. There are so many things to do. The big Biltmore mansion that everyone knows
Yes.
about regarding Asheville, that is like the beacon, is open, right? So, and they have wine tasting.
Yep.
Absolutely.
They have
They
gardens.
have wine tasting, and the gardens are beautiful right now, and then the new King Tut exhibit, which is very, very cool. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Yep.
I know
Biltmore
we were
has it all.
talking about road trip music for this segment because we're doing a whole road trip, music playlist. In fact, we already have one, but this is just gonna, I think we're going to have like 300, 400 songs by the time we're done. I'm not joking. Now I think we need to put King Tut on there from Steve Martin. I want Steve Martin's version. Don't you think? Steve, do you
Okay.
think so?
Yeah.
Come on,
Why
King
not?
Tut. Why not add a
He
little
lives in the
music?
area.
Steve Martin
Yeah, he down
or
in
King
Brevard, I
Tut?
heard.
Well, he owns a property right. Yeah, down in
Ooh.
Brevard area. He does. He's one of a few celebrities that own
Ooh.
property out here.
Mm-hmm.
And he can play a mean banjo. Have you heard his banjo playing?
Yep,
He has a banjo band.
I have.
Yeah, he's a banjo
I've
player.
heard it. Yep.
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of music going on here, a lot of local musicians. I just found,
Right.
I wish I could remember her name. A new musician. Joan Armatrading, who's from Black Mountain. We've talked about on the show. May she rest in peace.
Okay.
She passed away recently. I'm so sad to hear that.
Oh,
Oh,
But
I didn't know that.
yeah, we've Nina Simone is not far from here. Nancy and I got to see her in
Right.
Tryon. That was awesome to
Yep.
go see her statue. And what I learned was that you have a Blue Ridge Mountain Music Heritage Trail. I had no idea there was a music heritage trail out here. So this is part of the thing
Yeah.
on a road trip is to follow these highways, right? And so
Right.
Asheville is part of these trails. You have a hiking trail, don't you, for North Carolina as part of it too?
Yep.
Hiking?
The Mountain to Sea
Right.
Trail. Yep. Correct.
Yeah.
And part
But
of the Appalachian Trail.
No, yeah, that cannot forget the Appalachian Trail.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
as I was saying, when you get to Asheville and you go to check in, so the first thing is you're going to stay at the Lion and the Rose. It's a beautiful Victorian, wonderful rooms. You get great breakfast, but very important, they have dogs, 2 little Shih Tzus,
Yep.
Ozzy and Lita, named after Ozzy and Lita Ford, right? Ozzy Osbourne, Lita Ford, because this is
Yep.
Mr. and Mrs. Wild. They road trip often, so you're going to be with road tripping innkeepers who have traveled the world and
Yep.
road tripped all over, and they road trip for music and wildlife and nature. Good people. But you get a beer when you check in, and isn't that the first thing you want if you've been on the road? And maybe someone like me is
Absolutely.
talking too much on the road.
think so.
You just need a beer. Like, I need a beer and for her to shut up. So, I mean, Steve, when you give people the beer that you brew, do you see them kind of like, oh, thank God. I
Sometimes.
needed that.
Yeah.
They have
Oh,
that
yeah.
mode.
Yep. They do. Definitely.
Yeah, I think
Yep.
it's
they
a
weren't
good
traveling
thing.
with kids.
Oh, well, yeah.
It'd be a lot worse.
Well, but then there's everyone like friends getting together and it's like, oh, we're all reuniting and doing things. And it's like, cool, let's have a beer and start with a beer. And it's like a way for people to, that's what we've seen at the inn so many times. Like so many people use your bed and breakfast because it's like the perfect size for people
Yep.
to reunite. And, it's
Yeah.
like a little reunion spot. And the beer, when they check in, kind of gets you over the little jitters because maybe you're meeting an ex, that you might want to hook up with again. I'm just creating my own stories here. But
You never know.
I know. So it's
Never
like the
know.
perfect thing. So, and it's brewed by Steve. And if you're there on the Sunday morning for Sunday breakfast, you get a beer mosa and they're good.
Yes.
Even if you don't
Yep.
like beer, you will like this. You'll feel better
doesn't
about
matter,
all
you
the
will.
breweries you visited the Saturday before. Makes your body feel better. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
There's a new series out on Netflix called Four Seasons. And it's hysterical. It's got Tina Fey and a whole bunch of comedians in there. Mm.
Okay.
What's his name? Oh my gosh, from The Office. Oh, how can I forget his name?
Steve something, right?
Not
Steve
Steve
Carell?
Colbert. Steve Carell. That's it. That's him. Yeah.
Yeah, there.
He's in
Okay.
it. And so it's off of a movie that was done by Alan Alda and Carol Burnett, which
Mm.
I watched this with Nancy last night. We
Oh.
watched it. It's where this group of friends, you never see, and it's the same thing in this series. The group of friends, 4 seasons, they go on a vacation every season together. So all you see is when people go on a vacation. And it's crazy.
Oh.
Cool.
And it's really interesting and all the drama that ensues because it's
I'm sure.
relationships. Somebody dumps somebody and gets a new young hot chickie to do, and the rest of the friends are like, "How dare you bring her? Yet she's fun." So I was just thinking about that of like you guys your in would have been perfect as a setup for that series. It would have been like the
That
ultimate
would have
thing
been interesting.
because they would all check in and they're all like, yeah, 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 yeah. You see them set up in their rooms, get their suitcase up the rooms, but I already know what characters would want the beer, who would want to play with the dogs, who's going to go outside. And then with the food thing, yeah. So anyway, I just think you should be in that series. So I nominate you.
Yeah.
And of course that'll
I
happen.
like that.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's
Sure, why
fun.
not?
It's fun. It's really fun.
Okay. Yeah, we'll check that
So
out.
people check in. So we know the Biltmore. Obviously, when people are on a road trip, maybe they're staying a day or 2 days. The
Right.
Biltmore is a must, pretty much. When people come, that's always kind of on the list, right? The Biltmore.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the iconic thing that everybody knows about here in Asheville.
Okay. Now, Karen, you had a hidden gem that you wanted to bring up that is, especially if you've got younger people, but if you're going on a road trip as a group, I think this is going to be super fun.
Yep, the Pinball Museum. It's good for everyone. Doesn't matter what kind of season, what kind of weather, and like everything Asheville, there's beer holders on the side of your pinball machine, so you can have beer and play pinball. Yes.
Oh, and if you don't like your partners, you can take them axe throwing.
There you go. That's another fun, unique thing. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the pinball thing because it kind of goes back to that Americana iconic fun.
It does. Yes.
And
I agree.
Road tripping is an American sport. It is. It's an American hobby.
Good way to put it.
Yeah. If you haven't been on a road trip, you just haven't lived. I'm sorry, but a good road trip, you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you've got to stay at a bed and breakfast, and then somewhere along the line, you need to stay in a motel. You need to do all of it. You have to have some car time. You need camping time. You need to do a little bit of all of it just to really, get out there and have a good time. Steve,
different experiences. Yep.
Do you have any recommendations, since it's Beer City, USA, that obviously they have your beer, but where people like a must-do brewery when they come to Asheville?
Must do brewery. I would say just go down to New Belgium. You got a nice outdoor area. You got a good selection of beers. Very
good
relaxing.
Food
good food trucks usually. You can sit along the river and watch tubers during the summer when that's going on. I don't think that's going on this year, but because they're still cleaning up debris in the rivers. But yeah, it's a good place to go. They redid the whole outdoor area, so it's really nice and pretty swanky. And yeah,
back to live music on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah, live music
too.
on Fridays and Saturdays. Well, yeah.
Oh, well, that's it right there. Beer and music. What more do you want? That's
Everything.
the thing. A lot of music. Okay. So now food. Okay. This is a big deal. You're in town, you're on a road trip, food, you need the fuel. Okay. So what would you say is iconic Asheville? I mean, beer is part of the food group. It is its own food group. It's necessary. But aside from the beer, Steve, any recommendations for food?
I think local to Asheville would be 9 Mile, which is, they have, I think, 3 locations. One of them is pretty much right across the street from us. So after a long ride and a long road trip, you probably don't want to get back in the car and go downtown, probably, I would say, and just go walk across the street. You get
I agree.
good Caribbean style food.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the thing
So
about
tasty.
Asheville. It's very diverse, in what you can get in
Right.
food and drinks. And,
Yep.
I mean, you guys are also got all these little places like New Amsterdam too, which isn't, it's not you're not in Amsterdam, so it's not like, so if you imbibe in the greenery, it's not 100% greenery, but it's kind of greenery, right? So that's for those people who want to
Yeah.
have that. Well, no, because this is unique and some places don't have this across the country, so I got to bring it
Oh
up.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes after a long drive, you want to just like ease out a little bit with a few giggles, right? So,
Oh.
yeah, so it's this where it's like a different strain of, it's not quite THC, but it's a different strain, but you will get the giggles, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have a good
Yep.
map in there. It's for people who like to travel back in time in Europe. They've got a very interesting
Some
map.
other games in that too. Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
got some other games and stuff in there too. Yeah.
I had to look up
Yeah,
Farkle
collectibles.
after that because I just wanted to know what the word Farkle meant. And now I know
Mm.
what
Farkle.
Farkle is all about. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's like,
There you go.
yeah, so go play Farkle in New Amsterdam and look at a cool map, and they've got some interesting seltzers and things like that in there, and it's an interesting
Mm-hmm.
place. So I'm just going to put that on the map since it's a little different. Since you went Caribbean, I went to Amsterdam. You want to finish this off on the food and drinking thing? We went to
There you go.
Belgium. We got Belgium, we got Amsterdam, we got Caribbean. All right, so you've got the Victorian mansion, we got the la-di-da. So, Karen, we need another kind of influence in here from a different country.
Well, I have a different influence, but it's not completely a different country. I will say one of my favorite restaurants is Huli Sue's, and it's a Hawaiian restaurant.
Well, that's
So a
perfect.
little Hawaii in there.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
island style. Ooh, what do you get in
Mhm.
Yeah.
there? Mm.
Oh, I
When-
like most of their different things. There's several different dishes that are really good in there. But everything is truly authentic, like Hawaiian style. The fish tacos are always one of my favorites, so that's my choice.
Nice, nice. Okay, so we got food, we got activities, festivals and events. What would you say if people are coming through to be aware of any kind of really cool event happening?
One of my favorite events is Asheville Beer Week, and that's always in the mid to late May. So that's actually starting later this week and lasts for 2 weeks, from the 15th to the 29th.
Oh, right on, right on. That's cool. So people should
All kinds
be
of
aware
beer.
of that. There's always events. I mean, there's always something going on
Oh,
in
yeah.
Nashville. So don't worry.
There is.
No matter when you road trip through, you're gonna
True.
find something to do there, whether it's live music, a theater show, or a festival.
Mm-hmm.
There is
Absolutely.
something. Okay, so in closing, we want to do music. So I think we're all talking about Warren Haynes, right? A little Warren
Yeah,
Haynes
yeah.
for
Yeah,
this.
sure.
Very
He's
fitting for
local.
the area, yes.
He's a
Yep.
local, and you wanted Ramblin' Man, right, Steve? Steve pushed the Ramblin' Man.
Sounds like a road song.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
one
we're gonna
sounds
add
good
that.
to me too. Yep.
We might have I have a feeling it's already on the road trip playlist. So I don't know. He's got
Yeah,
Travelers
if it is,
too.
it is.
But we'll add some of that, and yeah, and I gotta say, Stone Whiskey, right? They were part of the Hurricane
Yeah.
Helene,
Sure.
podcast benefit that we did, and they're fantastic. You guys have seen them perform quite a bit, and Steve, I think you've got a
Yeah.
special album from them, right?
Yeah, they gave me a couple of their albums signed for my birthday. We went and saw them down in South Carolina. They're a bunch of really good guys, and they're really talented. And yeah, we're hoping to work with them in the future with something.
Ah, cool. I know. I'm
Yep.
just trying to dig
Got
around
some
them,
ideas
but I
in
know
mind.
you can't say anything, but I'm just kind of snooping.
Yeah, we got some exciting things coming, and I think we're going to be making them a special little beer. Let's put it that way too.
Ooh,
Let's do.
ooh. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Well, everyone, thank
Yeah.
you so much for tuning in to our little road trip podcast here with Steve and Karen. Again, we're here with them every first Tuesday of the month, and June is going to be all about the outdoors. We're going to celebrate Outdoors Month. We're going to talk zip lining. So put that on your road trip
Yes.
list, right? So we're going to talk about that
Definitely.
and all kinds of other fun things you can do. I know we're going to talk waterfalls somewhere because Karen won't let
Of
us
course.
do a podcast without mentioning waterfalls. And but everyone, again, lion-rose.com is the website. Thank you, guys.
Sure.
Thank you.
So, Oklahoma is a destination on road trips. It is so accessible from major cities and going across America. It is in the center of the country, literally, right? And I look at it that way anyway. And Terry Guthrie is back on the show here to talk about a specific destination on your road trip. And Terry is a travel writer. She also has a podcast with us here on Big Blend Radio called Travel with Terry. And you can catch that with, new episodes every fourth Monday, but of course you can listen anytime. You could also keep up with her at travelwithterry.net. Terry, how are you?
Well, hello, Lisa. I am doing fine. It's a beautiful day here in Dallas, Texas.
Well, that's nice. I heard that the place you're saying we need to go on this road trip is one of the world's biggest of what it is and not
That's
far
right.
from you, right? How far is this destination from Dallas?
From downtown Dallas to Thackerville, Oklahoma, which is right over the state line, is only 79 miles. Takes 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So that's easy. We can all do this, right?
It's a
easy to get to.
straight shot up I-35. Could not be easier.
Okay. So now, because I know a lot of people go to Dallas on road trips for many, many, many reasons. But where is this place that we're going? Because apparently this is a one-stop. We can do everything.
That's right.
Place.
It is called WinStar World Casino and Resort, and it is the world's largest casino. I'm not kidding. People cannot believe this, but it's true, and it seems like it's in such a random place. But I think that the thought behind it, I'm guessing, because it makes total sense, is that it's right on the Texas state line because we don't have gambling in Texas. Oklahoma does. And so they are really catering to the Texas audience. And I think it's paid off well for them. And they definitely do things big like Texas does. So this place is something to see.
So this is apparently the world's biggest casino?
Yes, it is. It is. Would you like me to tell you a few little fun facts about it?
So I want to tell everybody, go to the website too, as we're talking here, winstar.com. So win like you want to win, right? Winstar.com is a place to go. But, so this is, and I love this because it is WinStar. It's a WinStar World Casino. So, casino hotel too. Oh, but anyway, we'll get to that. So, give us some fun facts here. Okay.
Well, first of all, I just have to tell you, when you drive up to it, it is just immense. It's enormous. And that's the first thing that stands out to you. When I drive up to Oklahoma City, and I have been driving by WinStar since it opened, which I'm not sure how long that has, but I would say, maybe 10 years ago. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger all the time. And it's like, how like usually when you drive by something, it's like, it's just like a second. No, this one, I feel like you're driving by it for like 5 minutes. It just goes on and on and on. And it just has this unique, really grand exterior. the design takes inspiration from famous landmarks around the world. So it's like a global architectural tour. You'll see, things from like London's Big Ben, the Roman Colosseum, the Great Wall of China, the Eiffel Tower. I mean, all those type of things. That's why, it really gets your attention as you're going down the road. So many replicas of iconic structures. And anyway, it's just a sight to behold. So just to get an idea of how big it is, I'll tell you, the property boasts over 10,500 electronic games. They have 100 table games, 423,000 square feet of gaming space, and 20 different restaurants. And that's not all. They have 4 hotel towers with 1,705 rooms, and I've stayed there before. They have 2 enormous style pools. These are in pool areas that are like acres big. They're just huge and luxurious with everything you can imagine, the bungalows, fire pits, day beds, everything right there. And then they have a complex that just expands with acres of like multiple pools. But anyway, they have a fantastic spa that is 26,000 square feet. You see, this is just like, it is just amazing. They have 2 championship 18-hole golf courses for the golf enthusiasts, and even a high-tech golf academy. And then I understand they have a campground there as well, because they have so many. I was not able to find how many acres this covers, but you can imagine. It's probably close to 1,000 or something, if not more. And they have land to expand there. And then there's this huge entertainment complex there called Lucas Oil Live. And I'm guessing Lucas Oil is their sponsor. But this place is huge. People around here go there all the time. Everybody's going to WinStar all the time, either to gamble, out to eat, just to have fun at one of their hotels, or to go to one of the concerts at Lucas Oil. That entertainment complex is something. It has 6,500 seats. It's 300,000 square feet, and it's just state-of-the-art everything, any kind of production capability you can imagine. So it's a one-of-a-kind event menu that's host to some of the world's hottest acts, either like rock concerts or country superstars or comedy showcases. I was mentioning that tonight Chris Isaak is performing. Next week is Vince Gill. Now this is just going to be for this summer, so listen to this. Def Leppard, Air Supply, Temptations, Tracy Byrd, Hank Williams Jr., Tim McGraw.
Oh.
Some great ones. They in the past they've had Pitbull, Jay Leno, Kiss, Brandy Carlisle, Bob Dylan. They get the
Bob Dylan
top
played
names.
there?
Yes,
dude.
Yeah.
Seriously,
I know.
The Temptations. I want to go see them. I'm sorry, I'm old school. I like the Temptations.
I actually saw them Valentine's Day. Yeah,
did you?
I love them. Yes. That's some of the best music ever. But anyway, you can just see that WinStar is a top destination for gaming and relaxation, dining, live entertainment. And if you just fly into the Dallas area, there's they have shuttles that'll take you from either Love Field or the DFW airport that'll take you to WinStar. And I think it's important to note also that WinStar is owned and operated by the Chickasaw Nation. Yeah, and the net income of WinStar provides like essential services and family support and services to the people of the Chickasaw Nation.
Yeah, that's important for people to understand.
Yes.
It's a very cool way to, create entertainment, like you're saying, and tourism to a region, and then benefiting a community. And do they have anything where people can learn? Because sometimes, a lot of the casinos that I've been to, like in Arizona and places like that, they do have some like a cultural center where you can, or like a small museum where you can learn more about the people behind the museum. Do they have anything like that?
Oh, so for example, is there something there that maybe tells you more about
The
Chickasaw
Chickasaw
country
Nation?
and the
Yeah.
Chickasaw Nation? It's not right there, but just right up the interstate, probably 20, maybe 30 miles from there at the most, is the Chickasaw Cultural Center. So it's something easy to go to as well. That's just right off the interstate, and it's a multi-million-dollar complex that's just fantastic. You really, really get immersed into the Chickasaw culture and all their history and heritage when you visit the Chickasaw Cultural Center, and that's actually in Sulphur, Oklahoma, but not far from WinStar Casino at all.
Oh, wow. So what was your stay like? What was the room, like your lodgings?
Yeah, so I was in one of the towers, and I'm not gonna lie, it was like being on a cruise ship.
Really?
I got
That's
lost
cool.
several times. I don't know
Oh,
why.
well, it's a
I
big,
say, you know,
it's big.
it's so big. I know. I mean, it was embarrassing. I'm just remembering that as you asked, but I remember like two or three times I was like walking around like, okay, where am I? I think I got off in the wrong tower one time. But anyway, so that was kind of funny, but they're nice. I mean, it's everything that Chickasaw Nation does, I feel like is just excellent. They are
Hmm.
they do it upright. Everything is first class with them, 100%. And the WinStar Casino is just a perfect example. Everything on that property is so well done, and it's beautiful. It's luxurious, and it's first class all the way.
We know you like your luxury, so this is good. That's why I asked. And
Yes.
and I'm looking at the shopping, the shoppings of, road trips are also there's some of us who want to golf and there's some of us who want to shop. And
Hmm.
so there's golfing there, there's spa time, and you know what? Partway through a road trip, a spa time is a timeout
Woo!
from your
Yes,
fellow travelers.
that's
Sometimes it's like
right.
the car starts to get a little too small, and sometimes, getting
Oh, I
getting a
know.
room is a good thing. Take a shower. You know, road
Yes,
trips
yeah.
can be
This
interesting.
is
You
just
know,
a perfect stop because it's such a unique place and they literally have everything. And I know there's some nice gas stations that they own that are near it because I stop there and get gas all the time. They're very, very nice gas stations. So it's a good place to just,
they're actually usually cheaper. I'm just going to say,
uh-huh,
usually.
yeah,
And
uh-huh.
and and for those of our friends who like to imbibe in the tobacco, they have tobacco shops as well, um, gift shops, boutiques. Of course, there's the essentials kind of shopping that you need to do when sometimes on the road trip, you're like, oh, I forgot this. It's
Hmm.
there.
Oh, they
But
thought of everything, absolutely
I
everything.
think this
And
is like
and
the perfect stop for no matter how big or small you have, like as a road trip. If you're going with a group of friends or something, there's a point where you need some time out, so you can get your time out.
that's right,
And then you
right.
can meet up at the roulette table and scream and yell together with a cocktail in hand. And then it's like, I just need some time out. No offense to my friends, but I want my spa time. I just,
Hmm.
I want my pool time, and then I'll get
Yeah,
back
and
to
their
my friends
pool
and everyone's
areas,
happy. Yeah.
yes, their pool areas are beautiful. I mean, they are luxurious resort pools that have any
Mm.
and everything you can imagine. So,
Do they have
uh,
a cocktail thing? Like I want a cocktail in the pool. Are we
oh
allowed
yes, of course they do. Yes, yes, yeah. They have bar service, but they also have areas where you can swim up to it as well. So yeah, they have food and drinks
That's
there at the
important.
pool. Yes,
Now,
yeah.
what about the food? Because I was looking at the restaurants, and how many restaurants again? I mean,
20.
it's a lot of
20, so
restaurants.
yeah.
This
The
feels
only
like you're going
hard
to your own Vegas. This is like a whole
It
town
is. It's
going on.
like Vegas in one giant building. It's hard to wrap your mind around it, even reading about it. But when you see it and when you go there, I'm not going to lie, it's a little overwhelming. I mean, it's so fantastic, but it's just sensory overload. because you have so many options. The restaurants, that's another one that, there are just so many options. Some of the higher end restaurants, you would want to make reservations at, but then we ate at one of the restaurants that was kind of more of a buffet, but it was a really, really nice one. I mean, they've got that figured out, and they've got just delicious food, and there you have so many different options. We did that primarily because we were trying to do something else at the casino. And so we were, which was actually, we were going out to the pool that evening. So we were trying to hurry. So that's a good one where you don't have to
Terry,
make
were you
reservations.
skinny dipping in the pool?
Oh, heavens no, not there.
Oh, not there. Oh, hello. This will be reserved for another podcast.
That's right.
It was just saying I had to go to the pool that evening. I'm like, what is she doing?
That's right. Yeah,
I just had to tease you there, but that's the thing about casinos. I love that because I'm looking at their website again. Everyone, WinStar.com. They have like a section just for if you want a quick bite. Like, hey, I think this machine is really hot, but I need a quick bite in between. Otherwise, I'm not going to think straight. So because as gambling, it's a game of skills, right? I'm just saying.
Yes.
Even for the machines, you think you can out trick the machine. I don't know. That's me. Did you gamble when you were there? Did they have like club cards and all of that?
Yeah. A lot of people in our group did. I did not. It's just not my thing. I like going to casinos because I'm just a very social butterfly, and I like, just seeing everything that's out there and talking to people, and I like just the energy of the places. But I don't gamble. I don't. I just never have. But there's so many other things to do there.
That's a really good point, though, because a lot of times some people want to go to a casino to gamble, and others like, I don't want to gamble, so I'm not going to go to a casino. But like they have so much going on that you've got music, and I think casinos really changed the live music.
Oh yeah, I know, and this one is just fantastic. I just wonder always. I'm always thinking about, how are they actually getting these people up here? Are they flying into Dallas or Oklahoma City? Are they then flying on a helicopter? Because it is kind of in an unusual location, because most casinos are in such big metropolitan areas. So that's what makes this one a little unique. But that's why they can be so big and continue to grow, as I'm sure they will.
Well, you're so close to Dallas, and then Oklahoma City is not far, Tulsa, and you think about. By the way, everybody, Bob Dylan Museum in Tulsa, and what you're telling me about Woody Guthrie's museum in Oklahoma?
Well, honey, let me tell you this: the reason that Bob Dylan's museum is there is because of Woody Guthrie. So Woody Guthrie's was there first. Bob Dylan was a huge, huge fan of Woody Guthrie. I know this because I know all this from visiting the museums. And he said that he influenced his music more than anyone, that Woody Guthrie influenced Bob Dylan. And so when he was thinking about doing a museum, he said, I want it to be by Woody Guthrie because he's my hero.
So this is something to think about when you're on a road trip. And Oklahoma City does have some really cool road trippy things. So does Dallas. And so I think when musicians are on tour, this is kind of, it may be a little bit off the way, a little bit, but when they're going to go perform in Dallas and things like that, it's really not. And musicians are going to go, heck yeah, I'm going to go. I want to go somewhere new and unique and different. So I think, to me, not museums, casinos really did so much. When so many, live entertainment venues in cities started closing at one point, casinos said, hey, we want to entertain people. And so they added that on. So, things change a lot in the world. And where sometimes some things close, something will open on the other side. It just happens that way.
That's right. It's just, there's fill a need. Let's see, how does that go? If there's a need.
Fill a need.
You fill the need. And I think that you're right. It just opened up a whole new world of possibilities when they start having started having entertainers, and it's a win-win, no pun intended. But they even do these great packages at WinStar that a lot of people love, where you can get 2 concert tickets and then also a hotel room at a discounted rate. When you do it all, because of course I'm sure they're hoping you'll stay around and do a little gambling.
Yeah, and not drive.
They're very smart business people.
Don't drink and drive. How about that?
And it's another reason,
Yeah,
and that works out perfect, because since it is kind of a remote location, even though it's on the interstate, but it's in Thackerville, Oklahoma. I don't know how to tell you. There's like nothing in Thackerville. I mean, it has a name, but I don't even know that there's even really a town.
I'm going to go just because of that. So you say it's remote. I'm like, all right, I'm going because it is.
You just can't believe it, because you're when you're driving down the interstate, it's just acres and acres of fields as far as you can see. Beautiful area. Lots of green rolling hills and everything, and then bam, there's WinStar Casino. It's almost like you would think a spaceship had landed there, because I have so many friends that the first time they see it, they'll call me like, Terry, what is that? Do you know about that? And I'm like, yes, of course I know about it. It just is so unexpected, and it has been such a huge success. They definitely knew what they were doing, and everybody loves it. I mean, they
must have been planning this for years to make it happen.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
and then the building.
They're everywhere. I mean, I see all their stuff up in the airports here. They're even the official casino of the Dallas Cowboys. Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. They're everywhere. Yeah, they're very smart and strategic, I might add. Yes, they are.
Well, everybody go to winstar.com. Thank you so much, Terry.
Well, you're welcome. This was fun. Yeah, WinStar is always fun to talk about.
Well, we can't go on a road trip without going through Arizona. Are you kidding me? Arizona is one of the most road trip states, and that means we've got to get Peggy on the show. Peggy Fiandaca and her husband, Kurt, own and run LDV Winery. The actual vineyard is in southeast Arizona, which is also road trip worthy, so just outside Tucson, and near a town called Wilcox, and right next to Chiricahua National Monument and also Fort Bowie National Historic Monument. So definitely places you want to put on your road trip list. But the tasting room is in Old Town Scottsdale, and Peggy is here to tell us about why make Old Town Scottsdale a destination on your road trip. And I'm going to tell you to go to ldvwinery.com. So Peggy, how are you?
I am doing great. It's a beautiful day in Scottsdale. So, I think everyone needs to come to Arizona at least sometime. I think it's one of the most diverse states, topography-wise, demographically-wise, and just so much to see. But Scottsdale is the jewel, I think, in Arizona and the place to be. And where I want to take people is in the Old Town area, and specifically the Scottsdale Arts District. I think people think about Arizona and even Scottsdale as the Old West, and it's all about cactus and westerns and that type of thing. But Scottsdale and the arts are very sophisticated. It's a wonderful place to visit. And we have over 100 galleries within walking distance in the art district. And every Thursday night in the fall, when the weather's beautiful and you want to get out and walk, we have the art walk from 7 to 9. And actually this year was a 50th anniversary of the art walk in our arts district. Yes. And it is really a destination for the arts. And of course, with that comes the incredible food scene, which is in Old Town Scottsdale, as well as interesting places to visit and stay. So yeah, gotta come to Old Town Scottsdale in the Arts District.
With this being in, Old Town Scottsdale, I want people to know it's like a great place to walk and shop and in the evening times, it's really nice to get out there and do that in the desert. But at the winery tasting room itself, you can go for a tasting, right, Peggy? But at the same time, people may be able to, if they plan ahead, they may be able to actually include one of your events, because you do all kinds of like charcuterie board making classes, all kinds of things that people may be able to attend depending on their schedule of their road trip.
Absolutely. I mean, something fun to do would be, come over to the LDV Winery, which is in Old Town and close to where the art walk takes place. And, you do a wine and cheese making class with me in the early evening, and then walk over and spend the evening doing the art walk, looking at galleries. And the galleries are you get the incredible Western art, of course, and all the way to very modern and unique art galleries, incredible sculptures as well as paintings and so on. It's just fun night to be out in downtown Scottsdale and in the beautiful time of the year, which is in the fall and winter time, and just a lot of fun. And of course, all the art galleries have wine being poured. Not my wine, but they have wine, so you can sip and look and purchase art.
I love this because it's like art and wine go hand in hand. So does good food. So where would you suggest people eat when they're in your near the tasting room?
Well, I couldn't decide on just one, so
Okay.
I'm going to give you two options. One is, and I just went there for the first time the other night, and it's called Sel, SEL, and it's right on Main Street, in the heart of the Arts District. So it's next to all of the galleries along the way. And what I love about this restaurant, has a great patio, of course. And what I love about it is it's a husband-wife chefs that own it, Chef Brendan and May Levine, and they focus on a very seasonal menu, but it is just incredible, unique. They call it an American fare, but it's with a really sophisticated twist to it. And they have a great happy hour, with happy hour drinks. And I had a non-alcoholic drink there the other night, which was incredible. And Kurt and I just did little bites, and they were just unbelievable. But they do have a tasting menu, a 3 or a 5-course tasting menu, which I can't wait to try the next time I go down there. So that's my number one. But the other one I would also recommend, if you want a romantic evening to with your significant other, is called Virtue Honest Cafe. And it's a Mediterranean-inspired menu. Chef Gio was the 2014 Best New Restaurant for the finalist for the James Beard Award. And it's small, it's intimate, it's inside on the ground floor of the inn that I would recommend you staying at. And he's known, believe it or not, for their charred octopus. So if you've never had octopus, this is the place to try it. It's just,
you go to Arizona for octopus. That's great.
Exactly. Isn't that funny? But
It is.
It's world renowned. If you know about Virtue in Arizona, you know about the charred octopus. That's what everyone goes there for. It's just incredible. But yeah, so those are my two recommendations. They're right on Main Street, or Virtue is just around the corner from Main Street where all the art activity is going on. So Cell and Virtu Honest Cafe are my two recommendations for dinner.
Now, you mentioned an inn. Where would that be? What is the inn you recommend people stay at?
And again, I give you two examples. One, again, continuing with that romantic dinner, and you have a romantic weekend away, I would stay at the Bespoke Inn, which is right off from Main Street, and they have suites or guest rooms at various levels, but it's a very small inn, and every room has its own private patio. It's pet friendly, which I love.
Ooh.
And it's the Virtu Honest Cafe is on the ground floor, and they have this incredible infinity pool on the roof, which overlooks the Arts District. It's
Nice.
43 feet long, and it's just a great place to watch the activity going on along Main Street and in the Arts District. So that would be, they're a little bit more pricey. It starts in the mid 300s a night, depending on the season, and goes up from there. So I wanted to give you a secondary place to stay, which is the Canopy by Hilton, or Hilton Canopy Hotel, which is, again, right off from Main Street, right in the heart of everything in the area. And those rooms are beautiful. And it's in the $200 range for a night there, depending on the season. And just great. And it's all in walking distance. I think both places have bicycles that you can take out and about, and you'd get all over downtown. You wouldn't have to have a car. You can just ride a bike from place to place up to LDV Winery and spend the afternoon on the patio drinking wine.
Well, this sounds fantastic. So you got wine, you got art, and, going and tasting Peggy's wine, that's the number one thing to do. Nancy and I have had the wonderful pleasure of doing that many times, and I'm telling y'all, it's a must do. Lastly, I got to ask, what's your road trip song for our playlist?
Well, of course, because we're in Scottsdale, I wanted a more sophisticated playlist to go along with the art and food and everything else. So it has to be smooth jazz. And I chose two artists that are Arizona artists. Of course, the saxophone playing Marion Meadows, who's a local Arizona boy. And he has a great song called Sweet Grapes, which of course fits with the LDV theme. And I would add bass guitarist Wayman Tisdale, who is also a local boy, played for the Phoenix Suns for, quite a long time. He's since passed away, but he has some incredible songs like Ain't No Stopping Us Now and Rebound and Circumstance. So I would play those two on my road trip to Old Town Scottsdale.
By the way, Rebound is perfect for road trips because sometimes rebounds, anyway, it is part of a rebound. And Peggy's got the wine for that, just saying. So everyone also, Peggy is on Big Blend Radio every first Wednesday with Wine Time with Peggy. So tune in for that. Also go to ldvwinery.com. Thank you so much, Peggy. We can't wait to see you soon.
Okay, cheers.
Thanks for listening to Big Blend's Road Trip Radio Show. Keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. And for travel articles, road trip articles, go to blendradioandtv.com and nationalparktraveling.com. Happy travels!